Good morning, everyone. Back to the same old, same old. Mostly it's for my viewing pleasure sometime in the future, but it's also a good place to relax, catch my day, get it up to speed, and fill in the details on, um, yeah, no, the weekend was had the Memorial of Life service yesterday for Rob. Uh, I was grateful to say that large family, big turnout, lots of love and memories. Ain't been my best friend since high school, but spent enough time talking to people yesterday, realizing that yeah, those were the damn stand by me years. We might as well have went on an adventure down to the river to poke a corpse with a stick. I mean, uh, we talked about getting chased by a train on acid, hearing Bread Fan for the first time, getting cosigns on those stories in front of normies for a second was fantastic. Um, Clearing up troubled past. That was one of the deals. There's a couple painful memories, and I didn't think about it because it was the wrong environment for this comment. But after talking to Rob's sister for a long time, I should contact her and we should. She would be probably a welcome contributor to the true crime stuff if we ever decide to go that route, because my friend's sister knew my friend who ended up doing in his parents, getting caught. She to this day doesn't believe he did it. Um, I did time with him. I spent almost 5 years with him inside the joint. Um, I don't agree with her, but then I'm not saying I know anything. It was interesting. It really had to clear up. This is why there was a lot of I will go with stress on my end. Uh, I wasn't allowed to go to that trial, but Sue was. She went. She was interesting stuff. Before I would talk out my rear end, I'd have to double check a few things. But the one of the main takeaways of yesterday, outside of remembering my friend, was remembering some of the incredibly crazy moments towards the end of that relationship that led up to, let's just say, that unfortunate vacation uh, in the Greystone Manor. Um, it just is true. So it was very interesting, and to hear all the changes that have taken place in people's lives, and not recognizing people you grew up with, but then hey, you're hugging it out, and you're like, man, I knew you. Something in your gut. It was very good. I am not jealous. I'm envious of his family. I realize if the roles were unfortunately reversed, you know, I'd have brought out 5 people, and the family. This is kind of non-existent on our end, and worse and worse as the years go on. Um, so it really made me reflect, and then I was grateful. I was able to share with quite a few individuals. Uh, and I was grateful I didn't take Rob down. Any of the Hey, have you changed your life around? Was a common talking point yesterday, and I was able to say, hey, I didn't take Rob with me on any of that. He was free to live and experience and grow his family, and You know, he's got two sons, ex-wives, and left something behind. And oh, I should have checked this spur. I got a little extra. There's all kinds of new stuff I added. That's why I'm here. Good place to ramble and start the day off. But I also want my. I don't want to have a stall. And the one of the things I mentioned in one of the reactions somewhere, it came fully true. Um, the person, the messenger, if you will, for this whole ordeal, friend of mine, friend of ours, a mutual friend. We spent a little bit of time me going over. He had expressed the guilt. Uh, there was a lot of people involved in things I did from many angles, and it turns out myself and one other individual were the core of the bad guys, if you will. And it turns out that my partner is still a bad guy. So I'm thinking it wasn't all me. I was just brave enough to go along with his stupid ideas. And now, 35 years later and a full life lived, and I got no regrets, I can easily say that no one's telling stories about me going crazy last year. And it appears that other people from my youth are still living the life. Good for them. No disrespect. Oddly enough, I mean, my partner was one of my best friends, and I mean, we just made poor decisions together, and it appears his poor decisions keep going. Sue, who is very empathetic and believes that she can feel connections to people and things. And I asked her how my aura was doing, and she said just fine. And, that I don't have the same kind of angry energy I had when I was a young man. And that was cool. That's very refreshing and made me pretty happy. And I think I got the closure, if you will. And then it's time probably to reconnect. Unfortunately, with the loss of Rob, brought me back to a few of the other guys. And there it is. I mean, maybe we reconnect a little bit around this unfortunate event. I had a couple new spurs I put in here, but they ain't going nowhere quite yet. This one's going out to another teleporter, a portal to the nether. It's a ways out there still. But it adds to the trip. I mean, the trip is getting long. I ain't going to lie. It can be boring. I'm sorry if it's boring. Till it's an hour trip, I'm just going to keep going. I decided that was one of those, I'm going for it. With my mostly new building skills. Ooh, we're getting blown up here. Oh, Joe. From yesterday. The past is come full force back into my life. And it's interesting. Now, I think I did a silent run on this whole thing the other day, but I've added since then, and I mean, they are still very nosy valley here. They're just up in my stuff at all times, but I'm really happy. This place turned out fantastic. It's not done, but I'd say this village 90% done. And I think I could be happy and proud of some of the buildings and installations in this area. Now, I'm pretty sure there's kids who can build, cathedrals in this game. I don't claim to be that. Um, to I claim to hear, wake and bake and talk about my life. Uh, that's about it. So honestly, things are good. Work, I am incredibly grateful to Kimberly and everyone involved. Well, Kimberly, who covered my shifts. I did have my first Saturday off in 6 months, the day before. So it's been a very good it's been a good couple days. Uh, Reconnected with the guys playing cards. Hell, even won a game. Uh, Shouldn't have, but I did. Really enjoyed seeing my friends again. The next day, there was multiple events at the Legion, and we ended up going into a baby shower. And I didn't share this joke until I got home with Ange because I didn't want to be in poor taste. But at this Legion, there were events at both ends of the mortal coil. Oh, it was very interesting. There was a celebration of life on one side of the building and a remembrance of life on the other. Uh, Very interesting. A lot of different energy with people watching football. It was an event. No, see, I added. No, that tunnel is nothing. It's ugly. The ugly tunnel. Little shack there for your artist who wants to go right at the lake. Something like that. Yeah. And now not much different. We've got. Gotta take my dad down to Florida soon. So that's ah. See, I talked about this yesterday. Joe, if you would ever see this, that's why I put it on Minecraft, so you probably won't. But he caught an eagle flying above and thought it was an appropriate sign and symbol. And now this channel, myself especially, has commented that when I was young there were no eagles. And then this is where I don't really play in the climate change playground, but I do believe that we're responsible and our stewardship of the planet is a great responsibility. And if you drive an animal damn near to extinction because chemicals are killing their eggs, making them thin, and you fix that. And then all of a sudden, because it was really one specific product killing them, boy, they're back everywhere. I mean, they're not pigeons, but there are eagles everywhere now. Inspiration to some, success story to others, but they certainly are out. And I think it's awesome how people, this came up. Someone at the event yesterday had a picture of the trees in the backyard, and she sees her past husband. And honestly, the shadow to light ratio, I would say 99% of all people would see a figure. There's a correct ratio, so it looks like eyes and a face, and there's a head, a torso. I mean, it's all there. But because I'm a realist, I said, it turns out your sister sees demons because she sees everything as darkness. You see your husband because you're filled with love and light and memories of his passing. I see a figure of a human because of an artistic ratio I was taught in college. Other people see it because instead of being taught that, there's even that mental illness where you see faces in everything, and it's that ratio of 2 dots here, 1 dot in the middle, and something here to create the face. And then the rest is our brains adding the details, our unconscious thoughts. Almost like dream influence spilling over into your waking life. I find that all incredibly interesting. And it's funny because I am kind of I don't know, I'm not a know-it-all, but I've seen too many damn movies and shit. And I definitely don't know everything, but One of the pictures of my Rob sitting at a pool, drinking a cold one, and then there's a set of legs. Oof, they're at a pool, and a set of bare legs just shooting out, and that's it. These bare legs, and I'm like, man, he got himself a graduate movie poster picture here. I mean, it's right in the vein that same thing, right? And after explaining Dustin Hoffman, I think that's Anne Bancroft, isn't it? What I remembered of the movie, because it was more of the iconography and the imagery of the poster, and the fluoride stare back at me, I realized, yeah, not everybody is ready for every level of humor. And hey, they learned that at that rally yesterday in New York. It's funny how the angry progressives really don't like the jokes, but then everybody else was just like, humor. Maybe it's about time we get some of that back. And I get it. I was tactful enough to keep my Mortal Coil joke to myself, even though I think it would have landed. It was a drinking event. It was a positive remembrance of our friend. I didn't see any tears, too many shots here and there for someone, but that's okay. And he sent me some very nice pictures. There was a real nice montage of pictures, memories, and the from his youth set of pictures. I was like, hey, me and that dude went to a bunch of concerts together. On a side note, his sister and I reflected that she was the one, she's a few years older than I am. She dropped us off at some of our first concerts ever. Not the safe ones that our parents took us to. We're talking about you're 16, you got a bottle of Jack, and your older sister drops you off at the show and picks you up later. Thank you. Robin and I had a blast. But Sue reflected on, we reflected on that when she moved on doing other stuff, that it was me, and I was the one, and because Rob a couple years younger than me. So I'd be driving everybody around and going to the parties and the concerts and the debauchery, if you will. And realizing that I had a few amends, the program, and years of being not that guy. That town turned out great. I have to visit that some other time. But I think it's chaos. I didn't think I changed anything there. But being the guy who actually pulled the strings and influenced some of these behaviors, I made amends. I don't reference the book for shits and giggles. I made sure a few statements were made to the right people they mattered to. Yeah, I'm not looking for attention. I'm not telling you to pat me on the back. I'm just saying, if I was going to hand out advice, I would say, given an opportunity to find closure or be a silent wallflower dropping off a Hallmark card and seeing if you can get out of it safe, get your closure. It's how you conquer the demons, not lock them up inside of you and be haunted by them. You want to, it's that unfortunate forgiveness thing. It turns out denial doesn't work. Actual managed responsibility over issues and attempting to look for forgiveness or accept that you owe some sort of cosmic toll and pay that off. It's either a debt or a debit, or a debt or a whatever. I'm not good at every. Now, we have added quite a bit down there to the not-so-Golden Gate Bridge here at Phallic Crossing. So I am pretty proud. I think, it's still a long trip, so we're going to go back to real life as this just keeps rolling. on and on and on. Let's see. Kimberly, I got Kimberly, my boss. Just nothing but respect. Um, it's just the two of us. I'm the only cook she got, so I think she worked all the. She will find out today. Uh, now I did offer. I am working 8 days straight now. Every day for the next 8 days to cover those 2 days off. There's a trade-off there. I hope, uh, I believe, just like I appreciate what she did for me, that they appreciate it, and we both appreciate each other. And the job, it's all, it's good. It's very good. We've got a nice item that's selling out regularly now. She made herself a bacon beer cheese soup. And first time we sold out a batch of soup, looks like asked her to make it again. And I think we're going to sell that batch out. So we might have a house soup, something that actually runs and sells out. Then we can pepper in different items at another time. She changed her menu up. I'm not super happy with it. I'm a little pouty. Got a few items that I just despise. I don't like making the homemade potato chips. I made those way back in the 80s, the late 80s, at a restaurant. And we cut the potatoes, and you really had to soak the potatoes and keep them from sticking together and becoming this mess. And in 2024, where I'm really siding with the health side of some movements, I don't know how I can take a fistful of these frozen potatoes, slices, throw them in the fryer. They separate. They perform wonderfully, and I wonder what they had to put on them. What makes them work so incredibly well? And to be honest, anything that I got to stand over and stir for 5 minutes straight just to get perfect, it's time I don't actually have. Turns out I'm an expedite. Yeah, now I got to check the video and see if that just boom showed up there. I got to see if that boat was floating. Otherwise, it's a solid glitch I've seen in multiple worlds. Kitty, get out of there, Kitty. Oh, there's nothing we could do. We hit that cat. Now maybe it went under the minecart. Of course it went under the minecart because you can't squish a cat here. I can punch it, but I can't run over it with the minecart. That cat was fine. But very poor timing on that cat's programming. It's a really boring section. I should have saved details for here. I do not know what's up and coming for reactions today. I haven't made any decisions, except we know it could be ASAP, it could be Webby, could be Hammerfall. We've got a list of stuff we know we can do all the time without being terrified of blocks or copyright strikes. We weathered that storm, but it still stares me in the face every time I pull up the channel. But our first one went away, right? So now we're back to one warning, one copyright strike, and turns out I don't play well with others. Now this one looks good from the side. There's some good action going on in this bridge, but you can't tell from up here. Just got wider and heavier, but yeah, no, there's a couple. And a couple things that turned out really nice. I'm pretty happy with. That's what I'm trying to get to. And yeah, I ran out of everything. We're already reactions. Now I think this world's the first time I ever seen a camel. And I'll be damned if that camel just don't hang out there now. So, cool. I'm gonna get a camel. Oh, no! These cats are just have a death wish today. If you're just joining us here over at Reactions, Rants, and Rabbit Holes, we ran over 2 cats on our adventure and we're making our way across the desert. It's pretty boring right now because we haven't done much work here, but we are going to go underwater soon. For me, it's fun. For the the pros, I mean they build whole worlds under the water. Not to I'm no expert, but I have watched a bunch of what's that B2T or T2B2T. The oldest existing Minecraft server, the insane stuff that has taken place on there. I like watching that stuff. I'm not in that league. I would get used by others to build their shit, and then they probably grief it just to, fuck with me. I've experienced that. I gave up a couple survival games because I can't grind all day for y'all to steal it. Just, gosh, I wish you were my neighbors in real life. I know, and it turns out I just stopped playing survival games or started cheating because that whole work, I already got the system put their hand in my paycheck like they belong there. I didn't want 14-year-olds from across the globe doing it too. So, the not so Golden Gate Bridge with a bad rendering that is coming along really nice. Well, or repetitively boring, depending on how you look at the quality of the build. Now, this was one of the early ones, so I'm just continuing with the theme. We ended up making some pretty nice bridges way out of the simple range. And I can't see it. It's not rendered in. Oh, we got like a cool trestle bridge. I'm pretty happy. You see it there in the background. That one turned out, I believe that one turned out okay. Once I can figure out width and create the top and the bottom together. Because one of my whole main goals is to be able to build and then remember how to build. I'm not like looking at builds on YouTube and then copying them. I just try to get a few techniques that I can remember to create my own consistent build style. Boring spurs that run way out to nowhere and then turn around back on themselves. Hey, that's part of my style. Let's do a new one. Now I found another mine out there a ways as I was scoping, extending the track. I'm like, oh, I found a mine in the desert in the Badlands. Let's go to that. Here we are. And we had to do something because this path was so high and ugly that we really wanted to. There's no we. It's just me. I'm stupid. I don't know why I talk that way. I just wanted to make it all look, I don't know, semi-feasible. I don't really do fantasy space building or anything like that, so I'm just like, is it kind of realistic? Is it I think of one of my card friends. They look at this and they cannot get past the blocks. It all's just too simple, I guess. But then another one of the card buddies is like totally loves Minecraft and defends the depth of the game. So that's whatever you're into. You need more realism, I suppose. The blocky cows just aren't going to do it. I gotta believe that it's the closest thing I can get to having that train set. I didn't care for many train games, and the ones that I think are worth playing, I believe, are super expensive Sims. And I'm just not that guy. This fills a lot of check boxes all at once, so I like it. I like it. And holy shit, already a half hour. Now we're on the final stretch of this whole thing. But the track has definitely extended itself since day one. I think it started out like a 16-minute trip. And as long as I there make Monument Valley there and put something interesting in it at the end, it might be cool. You never know. For me, it's still just my wind down, start out the day. Yes, I haven't. Oh, that's right, because it's complicated. That's what it is. Is I don't have a lot of hotkeys. I'm bad at that. I believe I've claimed my technological ineptitude more than once. We'll double down with that right now. No hotkey to put up a barrier. You know, there's workarounds for that too. See, I'm starting to like that. Everywhere I build, you get like if you go up high enough, you kind of see down into another part of the build. I don't think I've built bigger things. I don't think I've ever sprawled. Well, this is the first big cheat I ever did. I usually try to do it in survival, but I'm like, that'll never work. I'd never get anywhere if I had to literally mine half of these blocks. I don't think I could mine at a speed that would make it, I couldn't use them. So, we're just cheating. Cheating. And I am super disappointed with this section here. Really want to change it up, get rid of those glowing, whatever the hell they are, put a more realistic light source in. The main goal might be to connect this to that mined shaft I just ran out to. I think that's my goal. Just in time for the season. Scary! Ooh, it's creepy down in there. Shriekers will scream at you, and the warden will, I believe Sonic blast you out of existence. That guy is disappointing for what he drops. I get it, though. I've been thinking about it because I hear lots of guys, or anybody, people, I shouldn't. I listen to Gal Builders. I don't know if any are Squirrelkin spirits on the side. I don't know. But I listen to lots of Minecraft content. And they're all hating. They really hate on the warden, ready, because the drop is so poor. But I thought about it. The amount of experience you can rake in clearing, one of these underground cities. Forgotten City, whatever the hell they call them. I don't know what the official name is. Lost, underground Lost is immense. So I can see why putting a huge deterrent in there, because honestly, the deep dark stuff is just such a. I'm sure the pros, they just build a farm to level up. I don't know. I'm a hard grinding player, so I'm not really a farm builder. I mean, I think I built one cow crusher, and the whole concept just was like, this is kind of cruel. You feed them, they just get squished, and yeah, it was like factory farming in Minecraft. I'm not sure that's my speed. I'm more of you don't want to say grass-fed. Grass-fed, actually, I saw some video. That turns out there's an illusion. It's depressing as hell. Holy crap, the track has really come along. That thing is long. All right, back with reactions soon.